Podcast.
So excited!
The show's great.
It was great, man!
I like when we do the clap just because it feels like what professionals would do.
Sure, yeah. Is that how all broadcasts start, with a clap?
Yes.
That's what the clap board is, I suppose, right?
Yeah, we have to clap into the mics at the start of every show that we do. Otherwise, people driving in their cars don't know that their radios are on.
Oh, that makes sense. 20?
Sure.
Hey, I picked up your clap, too. I can see it.
It's what the professionals do.
I can't usually see it.
I mean, I didn't hear yours at all. But,
'cause mine was
it's nice to know that they're getting through.
Goddamn loud and perfect. Discord couldn't handle it.
It was just clipping through the noise gate.
Corey, we have a voice message.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, this is a surprise to you.
Yes, it is.
And
it is absolutely a surprise to me.
It's a real voice message and not at all a joke.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
now I think it's a joke.
Well, this is from a new listener who just wanted to let us know what they think of the show. All right.
Okay.
I loved it. I thought it was way much better than Power Rangers Live.
It is way much better than Power Rangers Live. That's undeniable. I think it's cool that they recorded that on tape, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
it was
next to a busy road, maybe.
Sure. Yeah. Having just walked out of an epic live performance of MK PodQuest.
Yeah, which we do with a lot of elaborate choreography by the king of movies, I think they call them, Pat Johnson.
Should we do this live?
What does that mean?
It means we stop down and
We're doing it live right now.
No. We stop down and we jump into the MK PodQuest Discord general voice channel. Technically, we're going out live to everyone in there if they want to jump in.
Oh, God.
Should we commit to the bit?
I don't know. What if I say something stupid?
Well, no, only our friends are in there right now. Let's do it.
What if my reputation becomes ruined?
Let's do it. We can technically call this episode live.
Okay.
All right, I'll meet you over there. Just
Which
leave it.
one? Which one are we getting into?
Just the what do we have over there?
Broadcast in general.
Let's go into broadcast. That feels more professional.
How do we make it so other people can't talk and interrupt without being recorded?
We're not going to worry about that.
Okay.
We're just going to let them know that they're being recorded.
They're not being recorded, though.
All right, hold on. I can do something. I can do that. Settings.
This is a bad idea.
No, this is a good idea. Edit channel permissions.
How much of this part's staying in where we make the decision and then have to do the joke?
We'll trim this down. You should have permission to do everything.
What does that entail?
But other people, I think, can join and listen, but they can't talk. But you and I can.
Okay.
I think it's set up.
So if I click broadcast, looks like you're in another voice channel. Are you sure you want to switch to broadcast?
Yeah, let's both switch over right now. 3, 2, 1, confirm. Hey, it worked.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, going out.
Is anybody even on Discord? We don't know.
Technically live. Live enough to claim that we're doing this live.
From the computer, it's Sunday afternoon.
From the MK PodQuest Crew Expendable Discord channel. DM us for invites.
What was the fake studio name? Didn't I do a bit like that eons ago?
It was the Bonk and Bash studio, I think.
No, but that's fine. The Bonk and Bash is good. But I thought I in my head I had some kind of bit. Maybe I did it on them in another one and not this show. I don't really remember.
Yeah, this is Johnson Thistle's
yeah, this is where they do seance astrology.
Right, this is from Seance. This is the Seance Astrology Theater.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're going to rename it to the Seance.
Now everybody knows that we're actively recording an episode.
Yeah. So now we are technically publicly live. I mean, it's, invite only, right? But you got to get a ticket to a live show. So,
yeah. And this is way much better than Power Rangers Live or whatever that kid said.
I loved it. I thought it was way much better than Power Rangers Live.
Wow. It
Thanks,
was way
kid.
much better. I can't believe I got that right.
Unforgettable little scamp. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Are we telling anybody that we're here? Do people just have to notice?
Let's see who's in here.
A couple people, maybe.
Fuck it, add everyone.
Oh God. Nobody's going to listen to this when it goes up now because they're all going to hear it today.
Nobody's joining.
Is this literally an idea you had like as we started?
Yes. Yes. Quest is broadcasting live in the broadcast channel right now. Yeah, we're going to say yes. I did add everyone on that. All can join.
Cool that you did it in Crew Expendable.
Oh, shit, I did, didn't I?
Yeah, dude. You certainly did.
Let's find out. Whatever. It's fine. Again,
Sure.
Nobody's joining. This is just for us.
Somebody
All right.
instantly joined. The second you said this is just for us, Greg joined.
Hey, Greg. What's up?
Now I have to feel the pressure of an audience. I've never felt that while recording a podcast. That's never been a problem I've ever had.
Greg's a fucking renegade.
Yeah, I guess so. So I guess we should just start doing the show now.
We should, and we should say that the reason that we just dropped
God.
this bit. Hey, Jason, how's it going? Look, we didn't plan this, but we are today talking about Mortal Kombat, the live tour. So I got the
And so
brilliant
we
idea of, well, we
started
should be,
the MK Podquest live tour.
we should be doing this live, right? And here we are. Let's
Drake
see
is
here.
doing this as a threat, it seems, which is interesting.
Yeah, sorry, I had to. No one's allowed to talk except us.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think this is? Some kind of free ride
is
to
a-
the big time?
this is a-
Absolutely not.
a professional show we're doing.
So we're talking about MK, the live show that's live,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like,
Oh, we got a chat just for here.
okay.
Cool.
I feel like
Nothing about any of this surprises me. I don't know how to take that, Jason. I'm going to take it as a compliment.
oh, there's a chat
Yeah, there
in
is.
here.
In
Wow,
the
we're
in the
learning a
voice
lot.
channel. Please don't.
okay.
Damn, Jason, this is all
So-
staying in the episode.
I think it's just worth. I want to say something off the top about this. We recently put up like our plan for what does the rest of this show look like, and the first thing on that list was this. And I believe I described it to you earlier, or maybe yesterday, as thinking that the barrel has a bottom, and then realizing you're not quite there yet.
That was today, and that wasn't
That
actually
was today.
in reference to this. It was in reference to me discovering the CD-ROM.
Right. Well, I feel similarly about this. Just because it does feel as though we're working off of perhaps a more finite amount of information than ever before.
Yeah, this is
with which to riff on.
I'd compare the amount of information available to us about this as the amount of information available to us about the Mortal Kombat 10 web series that was canceled, and we had like 6 minutes of leaked footage to operate on, right? To operate on, you know what I'm saying.
Jason, don't worry, it's just this one.
Yeah, this is a single episode. Don't worry.
Yeah, we
Jason.
are.
We're
We
not-
do not have the audacity to try to do multiple episodes. This is one. We have much more involved programming coming soon that will also not be live. But in the spirit of this exact show,
Yeah.
we are throwing caution to the wind, and I would say that we're doing sort of we're being brave.
Yeah,
think is what we're doing.
honestly, much like Earthrealm's warriors, we are heroically.
Yeah, they're presented with like insurmountable obstacles and learn like what it's like to be heroes and
Right.
believe in themselves. And this has completely stripped away the artifice of what this show is for exactly two people. And we're gonna see what that means to us when it's prime time, if we can really bring this thing together.
Yeah.
I will say, almost everybody here has heard me record a podcast before, so maybe there's varying levels of artifice to what this actually will ultimately end up sounding like. But Oh gosh, make that 3.
Oh,
There's
man.
a Discord sound that keeps distracting me when it goes off.
See,
Anyway,
I have all the
just-
sounds muted. What's up, Kenny? Kenny, my co-host
Let's-
on Crew Expendable, crewexpendable.net.
Do you just want to get into this? Let's just do it
Sure.
like a regular,
Yeah.
like like MK Podcast, that show that we make.
Mortal Kombat live tour from 1995. Corey, do you have the document open in front of you? The roadmap document I had?
I had it open in preview, but I can
Okay.
open it all the way if you'd like. We don't have enough chats, so now we can also use a Google Doc chat, which I think is good.
I screenshotted the storyline from this thing, and I'm wondering if you want to do a little Corey Corner and narrate this for everybody, including our live audience.
You want me to read it?
Yeah. I'm going to hit the...
to a live audience, you motherfucker. Did you? Now I'm starting to feel like I'm being like pranked.
No, I did not plan this live idea. This just came, and it came together so fast.
We got a real actor in here, and you want me to perform a monologue? I'm going to embarrass myself.
That's fine. I'm gonna hit the sounder. Let's go over to the Corey Corner.
Welcome to the Corey Corner. I should have asked this before the sounder. You just want me to read this?
Yeah, that was so loud. There's no way that the people in the audience heard that.
No, they probably
Yeah.
heard it the way I usually do.
Let's break down the storyline for Mortal Kombat Live Tour.
I don't know what voice I'm supposed to do this in.
Probably just your own. I don't know that you want to try to do a voice.
That's disrespectful.
There's a lot of words to this. That's a lot of commitment.
Facilitated by an evil marriage to his reincarnated bride, Sindel, the wicked outworld emperor Shao Kahn has gained access to Earth. With the assistance of his demon sorcerer Shang Tsung, he is methodically stealing the souls of Earth. Holding the chosen ones hostage in his soul chamber, he uses their power and strength to aid in his work.
Yeah, he
Stealing
does. Did I fuck you up? Keep going.
I'm trying to read a story.
All right.
Stealing the soul of Johnny Cage, exterminating the mortal image of Earth's spiritual leader, Lord Raiden, and taking Lieutenant Sonya Blade hostage, Shao Kahn leaves only Liu Kang and Jax to stop him in his wicked pursuit. If our heroes do not succeed, the rule of Earth will soon fall under the domain of Shao Kahn. There is only one way to stop Shao Kahn's eventual takeover of Earth. Our hero's mission is to find the 6th and final dragon amulet before Shao Kahn does. Once the amulet is found, it must be placed alongside the other 5 in the amulet pedestal. This amulet pedestal stands in the center of Shao Kahn's soul chamber. When properly encoded, it will reverse the dimensional gates between Earth and Outworld, sending Shao Kahn back to his universe and returning Earth to its rightful owners. The encoded order of the amulets is revealed to our heroes through clues that are dropped by Lord Raiden along their journey. Time is of the essence. Once the soul chamber is opened, our heroes have only 5 minutes to properly encode the pedestal. After that time, the soul chamber and the dimensional gates between worlds will lock. Earth and its inhabitants will become the possessions of the evil Shao Kahn forever. This is a typo in it right at the end, which I've only just noticed.
Yeah.
Which is it's ITS, its inhabitants, but they have an apostrophe in there for no
they
reason.
do.
Also, now that I've read it, can I give some notes as we go?
Yeah.
Can I go back through it with notes?
Sure.
Can I footnote this?
Sure.
Facilitated by an evil marriage to his reincarnated bride. I'd
Well-
love to just know like the copywriting of evil marriage is just like some truly incredible editorializing, no matter how you slice it.
Look, as a divorced man, I kind of know what that's like. All right.
Yeah,
Just-
well,
Anyway.
at least nobody had to be reincarnated that time.
God, and I can't cut that joke out because we did this
Nope.
live.
Or if you do, everybody here will know that you're lying.
People will
So,
know. All right. stay
Editing
in.
is lying.
It was.
Demon
It was. I
Sorcerer
said
Shang
it.
Tsung.
I just want to say
That's
I said it for
interesting.
humor. Okay.
Yeah. She's not
Yeah.
listening, Neil. It's fine.
Who knows? You know.
Demon Sorcerer Shang Tsung. Is he
Right.
a demon?
Yeah, he has been referred to as a demon sorcerer many times. Actually,
Okay.
that will come up again in the Roven novel, the Jeff Roven novel,
Oh, good. Fantastic.
where he is directly referred to. He is like quite literally a demon in that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Now, further to this, I have a few more notes.
Sure.
Describing a place where you hang out as the soul chamber sounds like something a guy who just moved out on his own for the first time might do in describing like the shittiest apartment you've ever seen. Like, welcome to the soul chamber. And you're like, yeah, all right, Brad, relax, dude.
Sure,
You don't
okay.
need to do this.
Look, Brad doesn't want to use the term man cave. Okay.
Yeah. So
All
welcome
right.
to the Soul Chamber, where he listens entirely to like old records.
A lot of Rat.
And has,
Probably
like,
listens
lava
mostly
lamps.
to Rat and White Snake.
Exterminating the mortal image of Earth's spiritual leader, Lord Raiden. Does that just mean he had a human body and they killed him?
Yeah, I think they don't want to use the word death or murdered.
Exterminated sounds worse than those, I think. But also, like, so Raiden in this scenario was like a human man. But he's also able to leave clues later as like a sort of a spirit guide.
Well, just as a shitty Raiden, like in Conquest, where he won't just tell you stuff.
Right, but they didn't have to. We didn't have to kill anybody to get Jeff Meek Raiden.
Sure.
You know?
Okay. So I see. I understand now. I wasn't following. So like he is gone. Raiden is gone,
Presumably,
and he's
maybe.
just dropped. So all he can do is like drop clues because he can't like exist in the mortal realm anymore. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did almost the one time I think I almost broke trying to read this is just the phrase "the amulet pedestal."
God damn it! What is with Mortal Kombat ancillary media being obsessed with these fucking dragon amulets? Right.
Also, why is there so many?
There is
Six strikes me as a lot.
It's too many.
And they have to be encoded into a sequence, which just like is the most archaic sounding password system I've ever heard in my fucking life.
This must have been like part of the audience interaction, right?
100% it is. It has to be.
Yeah.
And then, blah, 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 5 minutes, whatever. I'll also just, Corey Corner is going to get a little bit experimental here because I'm also going to explain, like, conceptually how this worked because not all of us were necessarily actively going to live shows during the live show boom.
The live show boom.
Of
Sorry.
the 90s.
Laughing at something Jason said in the chat that I'm not going to repeat on the podcast.
I actually just have notes in front of that because I was worried the Discord was going to distract me too much.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's proven correct.
Oh, yeah.
This shit's way shittier than Power Rangers Live. That's for goddamn sure. This is like...
correction.
I loved it. I thought it was way much better than Power Rangers Live.
Yeah, it was way much better than Power Rangers Live. Do we know that kid's name at all?
I don't think they didn't put the names up. No,
Thanks,
unfortunately.
Derek.
Right.
His name's Derek now.
Maybe a Robin. Might be like a Robin.
Could be. Chuck.
Chuck. It's definitely a Chucky.
This is part martial arts showcase, part audience involvement tool, really, as the producers describe it. They describe it a lot as just like a way to like live the game and not just play the game.
Sure.
So it's partially living the game. It's partially watching people do stunts. But more than anything, I think that the correct way to describe this show is lasers.
Oh, God. Yeah, the number of people who talked about the lasers.
The lasers are apparently one of the most incredible sights a human being could potentially behold.
Yeah.
So if you are checking out the tour as it goes through your city, it's like 88% lasers.
I think there's a lot, yeah. And smoke machines is 10% smoke machines.
Yeah, and then like 2-3% at the absolute maximum for the sort of narrative.
Right.
And the martial arts and all that stuff. And you know that that's true because the Wikipedia page says Mortal Kombat Live Tour was a martial arts theatrical stage show featuring Mortal Kombat characters' sound and laser light effects on stage. And then the plot also says sounds from the game and laser light effects.
Yes.
And then if you scroll under to production, it's entirely about the lasers.
Yeah. Lasers were produced by Laser Fantasy International of Seattle. I have a theory that Dave Haskell and Chris Thornberry from Laser Fantasy International of Seattle might have done some
Wrote the Wikipedia page.
Might have done some work on this Wikipedia page for sure.
That's entirely possible, or they were like in the pocket of the producers or something.
Yeah,
because that press kit.
Do you mean Larry Kazanoff and David Fishoff?
Yeah, it's instead of like the producers paying them for lasers, it's as if the laser guys paid them to talk nicely about their lasers.
These laser guys got paid in exposure.
Yeah, they got clout points. But that's all I wanted to make clear.
Okay.
Just so everybody who's here knows what we're talking about, because I know we do, but
sure.
you know.
Yeah. Have you been to a live a live show? Did you missed these?
I've never left
completely,
my house.
Right. I have hazy memories. I can't remember. I don't think it was me. It might have been my older brother. It might have just been a friend at school. Went to like a live show like this, not this one, but it was either the Ninja Turtles live tour or a Batman live tour. And I might have been there, but I don't think I was. That's all.
Okay.
That's everything I know about traveling live tours for children.
I don't think I have seen any
I definitely
that
didn't go
were
to this.
structured like this. I saw the Jimmy Neutron 4D experience
Tight. That's pretty sick.
in Florida,
Okay.
which was
Right in my backyard, and I
right
missed
in
it.
your backyard. Yeah, that was notably not a traveling live tour, so maybe not super relevant for now.
Jason has seen Chipmunks on Ice, allegedly.
Is that
Allegedly.
like Alvin and
Like-
them,
I'm sure it's Alvin and the Chipmunks, yeah.
right?
What other chipmunks are there?
Go
I guess-
outside.
I
There's
guess
like
Chip
there's
and Dale.
like hundreds of them,
Chip and Dale,
thousands
right?
maybe.
Yeah, Alvin
There's
and
got to
them.
be at
Okay.
least 1,000 chipmunks on Earth.
Can
I think.
confirm.
So it could have been a lot of them.
Can confirm it was Alvin and the Chipmunks, not the Chippendales, and not Chip and Dale.
Though we may have opened up a new marketing opportunity, I think,
For-
potentially.
Do you want to put together a live tour?
I was going to say like that Chippendales one might go off
Okay.
because it's just like Hot Dudes on Ice is what that would be, I think.
Yeah.
It's like Magic Mike on Ice, basically.
Sure.
I
Should we
don't
go-
think we can necessarily. I'm not a great skater, despite living in Canada.
Yeah, I'm also not. I have been ice skating. There are ice skating rinks in Florida by some miracle. They're all indoors, and that miracle is just technology.
Just like the Mortal Kombat live tour, the miracle is the technology.
There are a lot of lasers at the skating rink, actually. Do you want to go over to the Neil Nook and talk about some of the people involved in this theatrical masterpiece?
I guess it would be a theatrical masterpiece, but it's funny describing it that way.
Welcome to the Neil Nook.
It's Gucci.
What's up? Okay.
When do we
As-
talk about the machine?
Oh, soon. Just chill. All right. So this is a David Fishoff production, executive produced by Larry Kazanov and Threshold Entertainment.
Our good personal friends at Threshold Entertainment.
Did you get the director's name?
Yeah, it's in my notes. Hang on.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think I got that. I
Jeff
had it.
Lee.
Jeff Lee directed this. According to the Wikipedia page, Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa might have been a fight coordinator, but
Yeah, which sure isn't brought up by the choreographer of the fighting at all.
yeah, I don't know that that's true. That's we're gonna put a little asterisk by that, but that would be fun if it were true, right? Because I think it is listed on the videos, some of the promotional videos we watched, that Pat E. Johnson was the fight choreographer for this, and he was also the fight choreographer for the 95 movie and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, right?
And
And
the Karate Kid movies,
yes,
including the
and-
Hilary Swank one.
yes, and the Karate Kid films. That's absolutely correct.
And I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here, just
this
if
is
we're
the
already
Corey
talking
Nook.
about our good personal friend Pat Johnson.
Sure.
He says in this video that he believed that Mortal Kombat, and potentially he may have been implying that this Mortal Kombat live show was going to like exceed all of those.
Sure. Yeah.
And I just don't think there's a universe in which you could argue Mortal Kombat is a bigger movie than the Karate Kid, a movie that he had done like a decade prior.
I'll tell you, I would rather watch Mortal Kombat than the Karate Kid.
I mean, me too, but we also are doing a Mortal Kombat podcast right now.
Kenny wants us to know that he is a skater, but specifically Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Right,
Skater.
which sort of famously doesn't need to be on ice.
Yeah, it is a good. It's
Kinda
probably worse on
Frowned
ice.
upon. Yeah, a little bit.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, the live tour. Am I right? On ice.
That's just like the X Games
Sure.
or Street League.
Or it's like an esports thing, though. You're just watching people play. Lost my tab. Here we go. The story that you read for us was written by Drew McIver, not McGyver, MacIver. Okay. And the story's basically Mortal Kombat 3, but with amulets, right?
Yeah, and you know that I've learned a lot over the last couple of years because I've never played that game, and I noticed that.
Right.
I had a note where I was like, okay, so it's basically just Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah, this was in the era, like that was the
I've
game that was
internalized a lot
coming
over the
out.
years.
So, sure, yeah, finally you've absorbed this stuff. Now, there's a huge cast for this thing, and Wikipedia breaks them all down because like multiple people played the characters, different venues or nights or whatever. I'm sure, right?
There was 2 concurrent traveling tours.
Okay, well that makes sense.
So like some nights there might be like one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast, same date.
There's like 3 Jaxes listed. There's 5 Johnny Cages listed. A lot of Johnny Cages for a character who's dead during this, but there's 6 Shang Tsungs.
Well, they needed the relatable white guy.
One of these Shang Tsungs is Drew McIver, the writer of this show, by the way.
When in doubt.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go through this whole cast list. I will say the characters we see in these, we see Barakas, but I think that those are just General Tarkatans because there's also a King Baraka, right? Jax, Jax, Johnny Cage, Cabal, Kano, Nightwolf, Kitana, Liu Kang, Melina, Raiden, Scorpion, Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, Sindel, Sonya, and Sub-Zero all make appearances. I want to say there were like in some of that footage. Did you see like Cyrax looking dudes like cyborgs?
Oh yeah, because I have a note for that as well. If you don't think I'm attentive, you're gonna learn today that every single question you've asked me today, I'm really glad I'm putting on a good showing for the audience here today. Hello, everybody. I take notes on all kinds of shit. You've heard on this show that my notes are garbage.
This is Mortal Kombat Live Tour Press Kit 1995. Every frame a pause.
Yeah, they never. Usually, my notes you've heard, and you've definitely heard, and they made another one that they don't seem to ever communicate anything to me. But in this case, I do have a note that says that glance of the Cyrax and Sector costumes looks hilarious because it looks like they were made for $4.
Sure, they probably were repurposed for the movie, right? The Annihilation movie that would come later.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read off a couple familiar names from this cast list, okay?
Yeah.
First and foremost, Hakeem the Machine Alston.
Yeah.
As Jax.
Perhaps most famous for WMAC
Sure.
Masters.
Amongst our audience, for sure. Also, he was in the Mortal Kombat 95 movie as the guy that Liu Kang kills and Shang Tsung sucks the soul, the guy he fights on the beach, right? Mm-hmm. Good to see him. Good to see him here in the Mortal Kombat Live Tour, right? We've got John Valera on the show. I didn't write down who he plays. It's going to take just a second here to find that. He plays Liu Kang. He's one of the Liu Kangs, Liu Kang number 2. John Valera did a lot of stunt work on Mortal Kombat Conquest and played Reptile on that show. So like the main Reptile,
Yeah, King Reptile.
The one that like goes on dates with Kriya and such.
Yeah.
And this is an exciting one for the Mortal Kombat fans in the chat. Carrie Hoskins plays Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat: The Live Tour.
Neil, did you know? Now, Neil, I don't know if you knew this, so I'm just going to ask you if you knew this. Do you know? She's an incredible artist.
She is an incredible artist. Like, obviously, she's been in a number of Midway video games, and she did some motion capture for the Killer Instinct from like 2013 or whatever.
Yeah, but like if you need coasters.
She is a fine artist. That's why her Instagram is Carrie Ann Gallery, everybody. I'm gonna drop this link to this art in the chat. Guys.
If you guys want to split this 5 ways, we could buy a $420 Sonya sculpture.
Yeah, it's under clearance. And it's good stuff. I don't know, it's a lot of resin work and things. It's very cool. Anyway, yeah, this is like the official Sonya Blade. Obviously, she took the role over for Mortal Kombat 3. She was already doing other stuff for Midway at the time, right? I think she's a dancer in Revolution X and a cheerleader in the NBA Jam games.
Revolution X, for people not keeping up, I believe is the Aerosmith game.
It is. It is the second best. No, it is the best licensed Aerosmith experience. The second best being the Rock and Roller Coaster in Disney Hollywood Studios in Florida and California.
One of the few roller coasters in my life I have ever been on.
That's right. That's kind of it for recognizable names. There's a lot of people in this thing, all of them incredibly talented martial artists, and it's very cool. So
now, if the press kiss wanted to show us any of that, that would have been fun as well, I think.
I cannot believe there's not like a full-ass bootleg of this entire show anywhere on the internet. I couldn't find anything. Somebody's sitting on somebody snuck their camcorder into like one of the few dates that actually happened, because I think this thing got canceled pretty early.
During the tour?
During the tour, yeah.
Oh.
I will say, I'm going to pass. So there is a Games Radar article about the top 7 most absurd Mortal Kombat offshoots. This got number 1.
Which is the wrong answer.
And this discusses how there were some audience participation events, some call and response things for like finish him and stuff. And there were these plastic amulets that kids could purchase.
There's
at the
one
event.
kid in the audience who's just like, fucking kill him! Fucking
rip his heart out!
Fucking stab his head, bro! Fuck! Do you think people were like tailgating this?
I would have.
And it was like a Buffalo Bills game, and they were like putting, or do the Eagles fans or the Bills fans do this? They like put people through tables and shit in the parking lot. Like,
just dads going into this drunk off of like Milwaukee's Best Light and like throwing batteries.
Hey, fucking robot guy! You gotta kill him.
So apparently there were these plastic amulets that kids were supposed to buy at the venue and hold up during some part of the show, probably that ritual at the end, right? But the plastic amulets were never manufactured, so they weren't actually available at the live shows. Again, allegedly, according to this Games Radar article. And this is the thing that I was referring to. Quote, according to Henry Gilbert, the only person in our office, the Games Radar office, with the ironic foresight to actually purchase tickets back then, his family's plan to enjoy fake fatalities was all for nothing. When they got there, it was clear from the shuttered theater doors that it had been canceled without so much as an email from Shao Kahn. So some performances were just flat out canceled, maybe due to low ticket sales, who knows. But that would suck, dude. You know how fucking bummed I would have been as a child if I showed up for Mortal Kombat the live tour and it had just been unceremoniously canceled. Pretty bummed. I'd be pretty bummed. Not gonna lie.
They didn't even like do a fatality. I don't know. I spent that whole time trying to think of a joke for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just happen, folks, and it doesn't need to be funny.
Yeah. Let's see if the chat's got a good joke for that. If you guys have a good tag for that, write it in the chat and we'll read it off and give you credit. Start thinking.
We're crowdsourcing now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, why not? We've got an audience, right? Call and response, just like the Mortal Kombat live tour.
Which evidently was an extremely good idea that went very well. Which means we should keep doing it.
Sure. I forget if I was going anywhere with this conversation. Do you want to just talk about some of this footage we watched?
Well, hold on. You were going somewhere with it because we are recording this for public consumption. Let's not get too carried away.
No, I think whatever point I was making, I made it.
Right.
Whatever I was talking about has been talked about. So
I'm just going to, let's establish what it is that we did watch.
Yeah.
Because as Neil pointed out, we couldn't just watch the show, a fact of which I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit grateful of. Not that I assume it would be terrible, but I'm willing to bet it's probably longer than it needed to be.
I was going to say, how long do you think this thing was, right?
Probably feature movie length-ish.
Maybe an hour.
Is that not how long those would be?
I don't know.
How
I feel
long
like
was
an
Power
hour
Rangers?
would be right. Power Rangers live show?
Yeah.
I didn't go to that. I don't know.
Doesn't that seem short, though?
How long was
Or am I mistakenly comparing this to Broadway?
Well,
How long is Broadway? I don't know.
I don't think this is like an intermission situation. Okay. How long was the Power Rangers? 90 minutes to 2 hours. Holy fuck. All right.
I would assume this one was probably 90 minutes.
Wait, is this something new? Are there new Power Rangers live shows?
That feels like a Pandora's box situation.
Disney on Ice.
I don't know if we should find out.
Power Rangers, Power Rangers. Good news, we've got you covered. Yeah, no, 2021 maybe. No, Power Rangers Live 2023 to 2024 tour schedule.
Do you want to go?
Oh, it's not playing near me.
Where is it playing?
Wait, maybe it is. I don't know how to use websites. This is, our audience is dropping off as we speak. We should just keep moving on. It's not, but at least one person in there is regretting joining.
Yeah, it's me.
Let's say 90 minutes. You're probably right. Feature length movie. I guess that's about right.
Yeah.
I feel like there's must be like extended fight choreography scenes though, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, in the footage, some of the footage that we saw, there was a point where people dressed as henchmen appeared to just be demonstrating various moves.
Right, which was dope.
So
I
imagine there was a lot of that. It was fine. Let's not put the cart before
It was
the horse.
fucking rad. Fuck you.
Well, hold on. But so what we watched included, reading the Wikipedia.
Sure.
Which it's sort of like watching it.
Was mostly about lasers.
There is a 12-minute press kit.
Yeah.
Which includes a variety of things. I remember all of them because I wrote the subtitles down as it went.
Yes, I do want to say that this press kit, the video that we watched, was uploaded by MK Universe LU.
Recently.
Fairly recently.
Very recently.
Yeah.
Which is weird in its own right. So the press kit includes a silent logo of the show with some funny lightning. And then some testimonials from people seeing it, some of which you've heard. The storyline rundown that I read earlier. And then it says that it's doing interviews with people involved with the show, including David Fishoff, Larry Kasanoff, Pat Johnson, Jeff Lee, and Danny Simon. I think interviews is maybe a strong word. Right. They talked up the show a lot based on like very vague prompts. And it is worth acknowledging the degree to which they have been color graded to be orange. This is some of the most orange footage I've ever seen. I don't know if they're trying to make it look like
the opposite of Outworld.
Cinematic?
I don't know. They just maybe it's just a bad tape, right?
It could also just be a bad tape. But so there's a rundown from folks involved about like why the show is cool and whatever, including somebody saying probably one of the greatest martial arts entertainment shows ever produced on the live stage, which is funny because then he mostly just talks about lasers after saying that and does not say a single word about the martial arts. I believe that was Fishoff.
Sure. Also, David Fishoff clearly never been to a taping of WMAC Masters. Okay.
Evidently not.
Right.
Larry proceeds to say basically the same thing.
Sure.
But then, they talk to the choreographer, whoever.
Like, what if Larry was like, we fucked up on this one, guys.
We've
this
done
kind of
better.
Sucks. Like, this isn't great.
And then, but just to round that out, there's also B-roll and television, a short montage of television coverage. And then we saw a separate video that includes a full television appearance on KTLA 5.
Yes.
And also some of that same B-roll used over again, and a couple shots that include like more of the stage show and then a TV hit. I have very strong feelings about that TV hit, but we're not there yet.
TV hit.
What?
Okay. Well, I don't know what is a TV hit.
Well, like they like came on the show and did an appearance. Like
you're using like an industry term that I didn't know.
I am like slightly incorrectly because I would say a hit is more like if news were to break and you brought in a reporter to explain it, like that would be a hit.
Imagine they cut into an existing broadcast to talk about Mortal Kombat the live tour.
Shao Kahn has invaded the Earth realm.
We interrupt the President's State of the Union.
Yeah, but I do want to talk a little bit about how the people who made it talk about it in this press kit, because press kits ostensibly meant to sell the thing that you're making, right? So it is very funny to have like David Fishoff.
Yeah. Fishoff.
say it's like one of the greatest spectacles ever created by human hands, and that it's like mostly lasers and sounds and some surprises. And Larry is like,
imagine them being like, no, it's like mostly lasers.
and then Larry's like, you know what else we have other than lasers? Larry Lasers is what they called me in high school. We have audience participation. You've played the game, you've seen the movie, now you can live the combat
experience.
And also he talks about working with this as a franchise and realizing that there's so much more of the story to tell, which is interesting because this is just sort of the story that was already being told,
Right.
and also not really related to the movies and TV shows he also made. So I'm not really sure where the connection that he's bringing in comes from in that sense.
I don't know. At this time, Threshold was very much treating the stuff that they were doing as official Mortal Kombat canon, right? Like, we'll get to that later when we talk about something else on here, but like they're very much like, no, we are a part of the exact same universe as the video games, you know? And this was before
they're talking about it as a cohesive like unit of things.
Yeah, there's just one Mortal Kombat in his mind at this point, right?
The people's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, you could think of this almost as like a sequel to the movie, you know, if you really want to.
I don't want to do that.
I think I don't know. I guess I got to figure out how this fits into my Threshold timeline, right? Because we proved definitively that Defenders of the Realm is a sequel to Annihilation, right?
I would say that this
definitively. Go. Sorry.
No. All I was going to say was I would slot this like just after Defenders of the Realm.
So you think he does the Sindel thing again?
Yeah, because he already did. Because we didn't see this during Defenders of the Realm,
right?
Where he also tried to reincarnate his wife in an evil marriage. So we have to assume that maybe he just thought like the vibes were off when he did it the first time.
Sure. Well,
Mercury
it's kind of like
was in retrograde. You know?
Yeah, because Quan Chi did do the same plan twice, which was to make the good guys all hate each other. He did it in Defenders of the Realm and in Conquest. So
mercifully, only one of those was like hypersexual, but
right. The cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? You know.
Yeah.
Now, kids, you've heard of the birds and the bees, but have you heard of deceiving Quan Chi's? Let me tell you about what that means.
I don't know if those air horns carried in for the chat. I did the air horns.
I'm pretty pleased with that. I don't really have a lot to add.
Should be. No, that was good. Let's
in any case, yeah, I would just put this after Defenders of the Realm.
Sure, fuck it. Who cares where it?
Who gives
I'm over
shit?
it now. I'm tired of it.
There's just something that's very funny that I want to point out that Pat Johnson said.
Yeah.
Because the choreography is like, I worked with Bruce Lee on Enter the Dragon.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
But this is about to be like the greatest martial arts experience of all time. And
this thing, like I worked with Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee ain't got shit compared to Mortal Kombat Live Tour.
Like what I find fascinating about watching something that is purely an advertisement, because like the movies, in cartoons, like sure they sell toys, right? Or video games and toys, but they also do have to tell some kind of cohesive story and have like that extra entertainment purpose. Right. But this is like purely like huckster schlockism of just like, this is the greatest thing that humanity's ever produced. And you can tell because you're watching the Mortal Kombat Live Tour press kit mostly.
Which is the authority, like the authoritative source on all things Mortal Kombat Live Tour. So like, what else do we have to go by, right?
That segment on KTLA.
Yeah, like who you gonna believe, me or Games Radar?
Though I would argue that segment on KTLA didn't go how it was supposed to go. That is how I feel about that.
It absolutely didn't, right? Because hold
on, we can't get there yet. We have to finish with the press kit. We have to.
Yeah, well, this touches a little bit on the press kit because the other thing that they were really stressing in this. Is
that like it's got good values for kids to learn?
Exactly. It's because Mortal Kombat, the games, obviously, and this is like the two Mortal Kombats, right? Because Williams Midway is they're just trying to make fun violent video games that are going to like cause people to pump a bunch of quarters into their machines, and they can make a bunch of money and sell a bunch of these cabinets, right? And Larry Kasanoff's trying to market this idea to children specifically. And that's where we get like a cartoon series, and we get a PG-13 movie and a family-friendly live tour. One of the people they interviewed, like who apparently had seen the show, was like, "It's just good family fun. It's just really good family fun." And they're trying to hammer that point home so hard in this. They got the guy giving the speech about like, is the producer? He's like, it's really not about death at all. Like, this is really about life, you know?
Yeah,
like,
and then it's overcoming adversity and you know, facing your fears. That's what Larry says.
Yeah, exactly what they wrote into the
Larry
movie.
Kasanoff, by the way, describes it with one of the most like needlessly eloquent turns of phrase I've ever heard, which is saying that this is a story about 3 humans tapped on the shoulder by fate.
Damn.
And I'm like,
good.
Larry, Lawrence.
I mean, he's right though.
He is, but also just like for the live tour.
Right. Well, I think
maybe save that for the movie.
I think he's talking in pretty broad strokes here about the way he looks at Mortal Kombat, you know. But yeah, but it's just so funny to watch them like twist this stuff and be like, no, this is okay for your children. Like, we're still ultimately a commercial to sell a video game that they're not old enough to play technically.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what's interesting is how the director talks about it as well, because he like comes from musical theater and Broadway and stuff, and he's like, this is just such a different thing. But he only means that again, like purely in terms of spectacle and modern technology. He says that Broadway has grown in size of spectacle, but it is not as all-encompassing of modern technology as, say, Hollywood or Las Vegas. And then the show takes an interest in the theatrical technology of lasers and fire and the grandeur of that. So what's interesting about how it's being marketed in terms of like potentially booking it is like this is a cool thing to see because it will wow you with its big crazy lasers.
With its fucking lasers.
But it's like also being very faintly discussed as like a triumph of like human physicality, but they don't lean into that for some reason, even though like that is ultimately what you're there for.
Yeah.
Be more than the lasers. The lasers seem like more of an addition, whereas they're sort of talking about it like, do you want to see the highest end lasers you've ever seen? And also some martial arts.
Don't stare directly into them, but they are here.
If you stare directly at Shao Kahn, you'll die instantly.
Yeah. We did put lasers in his eyes.
Yeah.
Like pointing out, not pointing in. We actually replaced his eyes with lasers.
Yeah.
He signed
You can't
a
turn them
waiver.
off. It's like Cyclops. Also, I found it interesting in terms of scope of the venue that they're playing. Well, Cyclops can't turn them off. That's why he does that.
Kenny has a good counterpoint here, which is that lasers are pretty cool. So
no, they are, but are they the thing that you want to hang the Mortal Kombat live tour on? Is
I don't know.
lasers?
But
Lasers?
look, Kano is in this. Like, if they pulled off like an in-person Kano I-beam, that would be pretty sick, right?
They probably didn't, though, because I feel like that would have been in the press kit, and it mostly looks like they're using lasers above Shao Kahn's head.
Yeah, they're right. They are background lasers.
But one thing I find like kind of fascinating is when they talk about like crowd sizes. It's mentioned like very briefly, but
27.
7 to 10,000 spectators.
Jesus, there's no way they were filling.
And I'm like
theaters.
That's like
West Coast Eagles audience level right there.
No, that's way smaller than West Coast Eagles, baby. And the AFL arenas are like fucked. I'm trying to. It's like I think it's the Melbourne. I think it's the Melbourne cricket ground that one of them is played at, but it fits like 100,000 people in it.
Holy shit!
It is absolutely twisted. But we don't have to talk about that now. However, I would like to say Karn the Eagles because the AFL women's season has just started.
Hell yeah!
So hopefully, and also they lost their first game.
Fuck, damn.
But it was much closer than you might expect.
It was a nail biter.
But I wonder like if it was canceled relatively quickly, was it a scoping issue? Like,
Yeah, it seems like they overshot, right?
Based on what
10,000?
we saw, I also feel like it maybe like this. What we saw of the show also doesn't feel correctly scoped for like how it's being pitched. Like I wonder if that was an issue as well. We see
Maybe.
very little actual like combat. We see like martial arts demonstrations, and again, a lot of lasers.
Right.
And I'm wondering
do-
if just like if people are just like, what is this actually?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't because again,
We
you said
didn't
7.
see it, so we don't know.
You said 7 to 10,000 people audience sizes. Like, I can't remember. Like, I have a hazy memory of me or my brother or someone we might have known going to maybe one or two of these things as kids. I can't imagine the live tour audience was that big, especially in 1995.
Yeah, the only
Right.
part of me does wonder if like maybe I'm misinterpreting the remark as maybe it meant something else, because like that number truly seems like astronomical.
You're thinking that's like total. We're expecting that total amongst all of our shows and dates. We're
Like-
expecting to
like
sell up to
50
10,000.
50 people a show.
We have 2 traveling companies, and we have like 12 dates for each of them, and we're expecting 7 to 10,000 people to show up. Tickets are $4,000 a piece. That might have had something to do with it.
You did get those are the only people that got dragon amulets though.
Sure, yeah. Theirs weren't. They were still cheap plastic, but they were painted
Yeah.
better.
Now the press kit is just sort of a selling tool, so I
Right.
think maybe we can just pivot to the TV appearance.
We can. I've got one last thing to say about the press kit. I believe they mentioned in that, or it might have been mentioned in one of the news spots at the end, that that a lot of
Manhattan.
that a lot of the sets that they used for the live
Oh, yeah,
tour
they're reusing sets.
were from the film, like were from the movie,
Yeah, which
And
is just
that's-
economical.
and that kind of rules. Like that would. Like, you know, I love the sets, right? We talked about it a million times when we watched the movie, when we watched Conquest. Like, I love the look of the Threshold, like, live action world. And to see, like,
Yeah.
the actual sets from the movies would have been pretty badass.
But what we see of the
Right.
show, the little that we see in B-roll and whatever else, like doesn't appear to have a lot of that.
No, it's all, and it's concealed by lasers and smoke. So
Yeah.
you probably don't get, like, a real good look at it.
And also
but-
smoke machines.
right. Well, and the character Smoke, he's
Yeah.
not in the show.
He's just
a guy.
huge,
Well, just a guy who dressed up like Smoke and just kept popping out from behind
standing
a
in front of
curtain.
the camera. Yeah.
Yeah. Insane.
The
Yep. Exactly.
B-roll, however, does include some classic henchman covered heads,
Yeah.
which is great.
Good to see those guys.
That's just
right?
sort of the fit that everybody kind of
Yes.
has.
It looks.
Um,
it is Threshold Mortal Kombat, right? Like it looks like the movies and shit.
The last
better
thing I
or
want to
worse.
point out in the television coverage from Larry,
Hey, Danny,
It-
we are recording. This is MK PodQuest Live, talking about Mortal Kombat Live Tour.
he describes the amount of Mortal Kombat stuff that was releasing around the time of the live show, and it is
Yes.
fucking insane. It is like some of the most egregious oversaturation of material I've ever heard. And like
Do you
a
mean?
month and a half.
Do you mean this clip that I snipped out?
We have a movie that releases in over 2,000 screens August 18th. We have a direct-to-video, state-of-the-art digital animated
Journey
special
Begins.
that comes out
Yep.
August 29th. This tour premieres at Radio City Music Hall September 14th. We have a CD-ROM coming out October 1st, and Mortal Kombat 3 is coming out in mid-October.
That is, first of all, good heads up to clip that. But that is insane. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about this. Like, what family like that was able to go to the live show is also getting their kid all that other shit all at the same
Yeah,
time?
it's me
Like,
as a.
that's
like,
what I don't understand. Like, if your kid wants the game, like they'll get the game, but like, there's no way it's like we're going to the
Right.
movie, we're going
Yeah,
to the
I don't
show,
know.
we're getting the CD-ROM, we're getting the game, we're getting the Journey Begins. Like, nobody
Right.
was likely to do all of that. Like, the eggs and baskets quotients are way off. Like,
Yeah, and I wanted to do all of these things as a kid, but I've told the story before. I had to rent Journey Begins from like Blockbuster on a day like I was homesick from school or something, and my mom like rented me a movie the night before. I saw Mortal Kombat 95 in a second run theater, right? So like tickets were like $1. I didn't even get to see it, right away. Yeah, and we were all obsessed with it, but none of my friends, all of us who were obsessed with this, it was too much, right? It was too much all at once.
It's too much for anybody.
Yeah. And then
It
the
just
game
seems like a
fucking
bad
$70
decision.
at the time, you know?
Yeah, it just seems like a bad business decision. The game was $70 when you could buy like a whole outfit of clothes for like 14 cents.
Right.
Like the math just doesn't check out. Like you could go to Sears or whatever, and
Sure,
you
JCPenney.
could walk out with like an entire furniture suite for your whole house, and it costs you $26. And then the video
Right.
games are like, do you have
And-
$800,000?
And that $26 you could pay monthly. Right?
Yeah, you could pay in installments, and you could use like gum and like like
Just
door-to-door
gum and
chocolate bar
gum and
sales.
string and like paper clips and shit, whatever you had in your pockets.
Whatever was going on back in
Yeah.
those days.
Do you think? Sorry, this thing premiered at Radio City Music Hall. Do you think famed American architect Edward Durrell Stone like designed Radio City Music Hall thinking someday Mortal Kombat Live Tour will premiere here, and
No, but what he did
my
say-
work will be completed.
What he did say
Yeah.
was someday the most spectacular lasers the world has ever
Right.
seen will grace the Radio City Music Hall's halls.
Yeah.
And
Did he plan? When did he complete? 1932. Do you think
Good-
they were planning for the lasers?
yeah, because I think that was, we were right in the middle of the Great Depression, and
Right.
I think what people were really waiting for to sort of save the American cultural psyche and zeitgeist was
Mm-hmm.
a proliferation of high-grade entertainment lasers.
Yeah.
More than anything
I
else.
think so.
Like, I don't know what else would have fixed the Great Depression other than the Mortal Kombat Live
And-
tour
Right.
at Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah. It's the third 60 years later.
Well, I mean, F. Scott Fitzgerald, when he wrote The
3
Great
years
Gatsby,
later.
like talks about
Mortal Kombat
the trip they took to go see Mortal Kombat Live
to
tour
go see Mortal Kombat Live tour. Right.
at Radio City Music Hall.
Picking up the story where the 95 movie left off.
Yeah, well, and you know how
Right.
like there's in that story there's the billboard of the doctor, and like it's like the glasses rims that are gold, like
Mm-hmm.
looming over the city. It's that like iconic thematic visual element.
Right.
Originally, when that was written, the editors actually insisted that he change this. It was the outline of Scorpion,
Right.
and the gold. It was like a yellow or it was like
Uh-huh. No, it was, and I get what you're saying.
and it said "Get over here"
It said,
on it,
yeah.
and then Jay Gatsby died or whatever.
Right. Because, the color symbolism was
Yeah.
huge in that book. So the yellow from Scorpion was,
Yeah.
right. That
Contrasting with the
that was
blue
the,
of Sub-Zero.
That was like the I think that was like the jealousy and
The wealth.
yeah. Well, the wealth was, I think that was the blue. That was the Sub-Zero, right? Because ice is like crystals, and crystals are expensive.
Yeah, and then
Right.
I do remember a lot that Nick Carraway spends the whole spends the whole book, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
trying to beat Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. So
Let's talk about this news segment.
yeah, so this is a really bizarre appearance. I do want to say like I can't help but approach this and I've never produced a segment for television,
Right.
but I produce interview segments like as a job,
Sure.
so I can't not think about it like that.
Yeah.
It
yeah. You've
feels
got like,
and I work with people that produce TV for a living. So I know like sort of what's good and what's bad. I will say what's good about this is that they have the performers, they're in costume and they're performing. All of that.
I love that it took you like an education and qualifications to recognize this as bad.
I don't think it took that, but it might
All right, okay.
it might help me inform what I think is bad about it.
Sure.
Because what I think works well is like they've got the performers there, they're in costume and they are like demonstrating.
And they're staying in character too, right?
Well,
Mostly.
yes, but also I think that's that's a critical error of the segment in my opinion.
You think? Okay.
Is that there is not someone there to speak about the show that is not in character.
Okay.
Like
I'm trying to
everybody,
think, what was it like when the Ninja Turtles went on Oprah? Were they in character the whole time?
but you can ask them about things and they can answer in
Right.
character. But for example, one of the key issues with this segment is twofold. One, you've asked a guy who's in character as like a maniacal demon what the core lessons that kids can take away from the show are, and like
Right.
why it's good for families to go see.
And he should have been like, stay off drugs or I'll literally suck your soul out of your body.
Yeah, so first of all, there needed to be somebody there who was with the production.
That's a good fucking point. You're right. Sorry.
Like
Shang Tsung is the one being interviewed. He's the villain of this show. Why wasn't it Liu Kang?
or like why wasn't it Liu Kang, or why wasn't it like Larry Kasanoff or something? Like
Right.
I would argue that in my opinion it would be better to just get that from the creative element behind the show. But if you're going to do it with someone who's there, it can't be him. Also, what's worse is the performer for Shang Tsung didn't appear prepared for the question.
No, he clearly was not. No.
He hesitates. He stumbles through his answer.
He says nothing at the end of it.
It makes him look like a bit of an idiot. And it makes the show look like it doesn't know what it's doing. So,
because the question was about the violence, right?
The question, was about like, and he starts saying that like, that the show will show kids that there is a difference between martial arts and violence.
Right, and that martial arts is about overcoming challenges.
Yeah, like he spits out a word salad, but like what I mean is, you know, if you're producing like daytime TV, because like this was like a segment that appears to have been part of a newscast, but this is not like capital J hard journalism. Like this is like a TV TV segment, right? Like this is an ad, you know, like more than anything, this is a commercial. You don't ask the same level of hard questions you would ask like the president, a guy who's pretending to be a sorcerer. That's just really not how that works. What I think this needed was probably fewer characters there. B, they needed to do more of the performance up front. Maybe you do a bit where like Shang Tsung's gonna like take over the show, and then like the hero characters save it. They do a little bit of the fighting, and then you go like, "There's a demonstration of Mortal Kombat live tour, and we've also got Larry here," and then like 2 or 3 questions, and that is gonna be the person who's equipped to actually like cover that. Like, I think the performers should be able, whether in character or not, to speak to the spectacle and the narrative and like their martial arts ability. Like that's fine. But what I don't like about how this feels like is being approached by like whoever produced it is that they're saying like these actors are both simultaneously in character and not in character. Like he starts asking Carrie Hoskins just like what kind of martial arts she does, but like you've brought up Sonya Blade and not Carrie Hoskins, and like you're talking to Shang Tsung and we don't even hear that performer's name. Like there's not a clear sense of like how they wanted this approached at all. I don't think it's a good representation of like the show or would really convince anybody to go see it.
No, I don't think but the actual like the interview part sucked ass. Okay. But the demonstration part, like that live fight choreography,
it was neat. Yeah.
That was good. Like, and it was like actually good. Like, you know, it was like, I don't know. It was just fucking good. And if that's what the live show is like, that's what would sell me on seeing something like that at that age, at that time, you know, would have been seeing like the fight. Like all we cared about was the fight scenes.
Also,
you know?
I do think it's worth acknowledging something else. I forgot to mention that in the stage show video, it starts with maybe the worst Mortal Kombat yell we've ever heard.
Mortal Kombat.
It's like really. It's like so. I'm actually just re-listening to something quick to make sure that I get it right. But so like they have everybody posing on the set, and then they bring up Sonya, and the presenter, I think, does something like very, very, very out of line.
Where he comments on her body.
So
yeah,
she gets brought up.
That's not cool. You don't think that's cool to do on
but
television?
He immediately, and again, it's like when you're producing live television, like you have to find the middle ground between like, you know, the unexpected element of doing something live brings like something fun and unexpected to it versus some people who don't appear adequately prepared. And this guy, I'm actually going to start with the part that doesn't seem like it was his fault, which is a little later on. He's asked to like try to like go at her, and then she like grabs him and like defends it.
Yeah.
He didn't look ready for there to be a physical response at all. Like, I don't think he knew that that was going to happen, which is a bad idea for a variety of reasons. But, so she walks out and she's in like the Sonya outfit, which we all know. But he starts going like, "Wow, man! Like, look at your crazy." What are the tweets that Maroon 5 guy sent? Where he's like, "Your body's fucking crazy." Like, do you remember that? Anyway, someone in the chat will remember. They'll laugh that I'm invoking that. But he's like, "Wow, look at your abs. That's not a 6-pack. That's an 8-pack. That's fucking crazy." And she like sort of laughs.
Yeah.
But like.
Yeah.
He's laughing and talking. And, like, he's like frazzled by what's happening, and then the Shang
the Shang Tsung guy's like, I didn't bring you up here to
says
to
I'm
look
not
at her
asking
abs.
you to look at her.
Yeah, he
And
said I'm not
like,
asking you to look at her abs or something like that.
No, like I just heard him say it. Like I'm
okay.
Like that's what he said. But it's like, so he laughs through that because he's uncomfortable. She's uncomfortable. The presenter's uncomfortable and also fucking up. So it's like nowhere along the way does it seem like anybody was like adequately prepared for like what this segment was intended to be.
Yeah, it's
really awkward, and then also like it ends with like 2 questions to Carrie about like the martial arts that she does. Like it goes from the details of the show and then like back to the interview, and then it just ends.
Right.
Like you end with the details and the call to action to go get the tickets. Like
go get your tickets now.
You end with that.
Come to Anaheim,
like,
right?
I don't know. I like, and I don't mean to be so like analytical because like everybody calm down, but like I just found it kind of fascinating. And again, like I don't work in television, but I work in a building where television is made. Sure. And with people that do, this kind of thing is intended to be it's an advertisement for the show, right? Like that's what it is. And this is not a particularly good one, and it didn't seem like anybody really knew what was going on.
Yeah. It was bad. That's all. It was pretty fucking lousy. It was a lousy segment,
which I just find kind of interesting.
And it was weird. So Jason said something in the chat that having Johnny Cage kind of be the guy would have been good. And I agree. Unfortunately, they killed Johnny Cage in this. I think he probably dies right away in the show, right? But yeah, that would have made sense for them to like lean into like the personalities of the characters and have the person being interviewed be somebody who would make sense to be like on a TV show, or at least if they're trying to talk about how good Mortal Kombat is and how it's not about evil violence, maybe not have the demon sorcerer Shang Tsung be your spokesperson.
Ask anybody else that was on that stage about it.
Maybe have Sonya Blade tell the whole story, although I don't think that interviewer would have been able to handle himself had she been, right? Because
dude was flustered. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Thank God he didn't like touch her, like like touch her abs. Like he almost looked like he was going to at one point.
Yeah,
then she would have kicked him in the face for real.
It's a little concerning. But yeah, I also just think like looking at everything that we've seen of the show in totality, I'm like, I guess I'm not that surprised that it did do great. Like it doesn't seem horrible or anything. But like,
no, but I feel like it's like late on the trend of these live shows, and yeah, there was probably just a little too much Mortal Kombat saturation, right? Especially with this coming out to like premiering 2 months after the movie, so the movie's still running in theaters at this point. I think parents are they're gonna pay for the movie ticket instead of the inflated like live show price, right?
But the lasers,
I know maybe they didn't advertise the lasers enough, It is hilarious how much the fucking lasers came up.
It's
in this.
unfathomable. Like at that point, like the whole show should have just been like lasers or like one of those fountain
Right.
shows in Vegas where it's just like lights and water.
Just dancing water.
Yeah, just fucking do that, man. Like
yeah.
and play.
Well, there's places
the
you can just go
Mortal
to watch
Kombat
that for
soundtrack.
free, though. You know?
Yeah, like Vegas
Yeah.
or like a splash pad. Do they
Sure.
still do laser? They do the laser shows at high school dances. They didn't at mine. I'll say
What?
that.
We had some lasers, I think, at some of mine. We definitely had smoke machines.
We had lights. I wouldn't describe
I
any
feel like
of
you
it as
can't
lasers.
you can't have a laser without a smoke machine, right? Because you need something for the laser to sort of cast
Well,
off of.
legally.
You know, right? You have like it's like you like when if you buy wood flooring of over a certain amount, they make you buy glue also to make
Yeah.
sure you're going to do a proper installation.
I mean, I thought that was like I think the Clinton administration
Right.
was like the one that passed the law
Right.
that was like
If you buy wood
A
flooring,
laser
you
with
have
every
to buy
smoke machine.
glue, and if you get a laser, you also have to get a smoke machine. Yeah, that was.
and if you get a smoke
Slick
machine,
Willy.
you have to get lasers.
It was Slick Willy for sure. Did that?
Slick Willy, is that what they call
Yeah,
him?
yeah. That's what we
Damn.
call him.
You guys got
That's what we
Slick
call 'em
Willy
over here.
and Tricky Dick,
We had Slick Willy and Tricky Dick exactly.
and
Yeah, and Slick Willy had a Tricky Dick. You know,
and that piece of shit Ronald Reagan.
Jesus Christ.
He's dead. He can't hear me. Like,
No, fuck. No, are you kidding me? No, not to that. Fuck that guy.
oh, the
You think I'm-
lasers.
Corey, you don't know this about me. I am a huge Ronald Reagan supporter.
I'm a big trickle down economics guy. You know what's interesting? You know what a lot of people won't tell you about Mortal Kombat, which is interesting,
What?
which is that one of the big issues in
what?
Outworld.
Trickle down
that-
economics.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like trickle down soulsonomics, which is like we're gonna have all the souls at the top, but everybody will get a little bit of soul if you just hear me out. And then who got
Sure.
all the souls?
Shao Kahn.
I guess it really depends on what point in time you're asking. But
Yeah.
bro, hashtag throat goat. Hell yeah, brother.
Oh Christ. All right, Corey. You got anything else to say about Mortal Kombat the live tour?
I don't. I'm honestly surprised that I had that much to say about it. But
Yeah, same
I just
here.
found that TV appearance really interesting.
It's been fun. That's not what I meant to say. It looks.
It hasn't
I would
been
have
fun. I've hated every second of this, actually.
I would have. Okay, all I can say is that I would, if I had, as a child, had the opportunity to go to this, I absolutely would have fucking gone to this. But I don't think it's the kind of thing that, as a kid, even being a fan of Mortal Kombat, I would have like begged my parents to take me to. You know.
Right.
But like, I think I would have gone and I would have had fun, and it would have been cool to see, you know, people doing flips and kicks and shit on stage. And if the choreography in the actual show was anything like what we saw on that news segment, where it was like an extended fight scene with props, like that would have been very fun to watch in person.
It's a shame
But-
we couldn't see more snippets of the actual show.
right, just a lot of the same clips over and over again, and in very poor quality.
Jason making a
You
great
know.
point. I think the age of the youngest Mortal Kombat fan is at least 2 years above the age of the oldest live show fan.
Yeah, I think it's just a little late.
The
right.
the 16-year-olds were not going to Mortal Kombat live.
No. But again, Larry did a cartoon series, right?
Yeah.
Like they were trying to sell the shit to kids because, I mean,
And then they
kids
run
thought
up
it was
into
cool.
what I'm going to call the Shang Tsung paradox, which is, okay, Demon Sorcerer, tell me why this is good for children actually.
Yeah. Hey, Demon Sorcerer, should I stay in school or not? Let me know.
Hey, Demon Sorcerer, when can I play the RoboCop SNES game?
What was that rated? Was that did that get an ESRB rating?
X for excellent.
X for excellent. Yeah, it's like it got like a 7.5. That's not what I mean. Corey, in that audio clip of Larry Kazanoff talking
Yeah,
about
where
all
he,
the
where he
Mortal
says, we
Kombat
got 55 burgers, 55 fries,
projects,
55
yeah.
Cokes.
he mentioned something that I was unawares of until
Is it the CD-ROM?
like an hour before we were supposed to record, and it is of course the Mortal Kombat CD-ROM, also known as the Ultimate Guide to Mortal Kombat, a CD-ROM put out by Threshold Entertainment. You know, Windows 3.1, Windows 95 days, right? I found, unfortunately, while we were recording, so I can't fully get into it, an emulated version of this CD-ROM on the internet. Emulate it in your browser, but you have to download all of the data, and it is downloading very slowly. I did put a link in the chat for the people in there to check this out. What I had done previously is download an ISO file of this and try to mount it on a virtual drive, and it's just too old to run on my computer. I didn't have any way to emulate like an older operating system. Okay. But I did parse through the contents of this, and I did read a little bit about it. And the official description here is on this archived website. The Ultimate Guide to Mortal Kombat CD-ROM. Prepare yourself to be a mortal master. Let the creators of Mortal Kombat teach you how to master the games with this ultimate collection of all the fatalities, all the tips, and all the codes for Mortal Kombat 2, and Mortal Kombat 3. I can confirm that is on there because I watched video clips of all of the fatalities from Mortal Kombat 3 being demonstrated, and Ed Boon and John Tobias talking about how to play the game and some tips and tricks that they have for it. Okay. This thing also has behind the scenes info on the Mortal Kombat movie, and they say, become the filmmaker of the Mortal Kombat movie. The demon sorcerer Shang Tsung has altered time and space, and it's up for you to help reconstruct the film. So it's some kind of interactive mini game where you are like rebuilding the sets and the digital effects and things. I watched a lot of clips of this, and you see like CGI renderings of the arenas, and I think a lot of stuff taken from Journey Begins, right? Mm-hmm. A little behind the scene clips of how they turned an actual island into Shang Tsung's island using digital matte painting and things like that.
Is there any information from Federation of Martial Arts at all?
No, because that wouldn't come until 5 years later, unfortunately.
And what a loss for us. Imagine just having Federation of Martial Arts on.
Sure.
I'm just going to go with that on disc.
Go with that. Yeah.
We need that remastered for Blu-ray is what we really need.
We do. God damn it, do we? There's also what else is on this thing? There's a lot of video of the Goro animatronic, which is very cool to see. Again, super duper low resolution, right? But just showing the actual puppeting and the animatronics and the way that they shot and construct all that stuff is very cool behind the scenes views. The really fun thing, though, is there are a bunch of clips hosted by Pat E. Johnson, fight choreographer for Mortal Kombat, the movie, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and Mortal Kombat The Live Tour, with a guy in a Scorpion costume and a guy in a Sub-Zero costume doing martial arts demonstrations where Pat is telling people like a good defensive move is an upper X block, and then they demonstrate, right? A roundhouse kick, and then they demonstrate, doing martial arts demonstrations, again, all in digital video on the CD-ROM. And then I found a really weird thing.
Okay.
Which is a video clip called The Workout. Oh, and it is just... Go ahead. What?
I was going to say, is this like it's like one of those aerobics videos that you could get? Where I guarantee it's just a woman. There's no way there's any men in it.
It is not a hosted aerobics video. No, it is just one. It is just Carrie Ann Hoskins doing different exercises.
That can't be. I want to believe that you're lying. That can't be right. There's no way that's right.
I am not lying, and I will send you the video. I can find it. All right, Danny, settle down. Calling you out on the air. You can emulate this CD-ROM for yourself in that link, and you can find this. But yeah, I had never heard of this before. I've almost got this thing launched. If we can hang out for just a few more minutes, I can do some clicking through of this thing. But I had never heard of this thing before.
Yeah, where the podcast is going to get 2 hours out of the Mortal Kombat Live Tour.
Well, we're also talking about the CD-ROM, right? So, but this is an interesting piece of, again, another Threshold Entertainment release, and just another interesting piece of Mortal Kombat ephemera. I checked eBay. There are none of these things available. There's one auction for one starting at $60 with no bids. And no, I did not bid on it. I don't have that money right now. As we were discussing before we hit record, I just had to buy new boots. So, you know, I don't have
those boots were made for
not going to eBay and auctioning and bidding on the Mortal Kombat Ultimate Guide to Mortal Kombat CD-ROM, especially since they don't fucking run, right? Like, you'd have it just to have it.
that dog don't hunt.
No. Okay, it's about to fucking launch. I think we're going to get some audio
with
this. The chat might. Oh, you fucking kidding me? I have to type things? Never mind. This ain't happening.
Well, it was worth a try.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, it's running. Here it goes. Holy shit. This is like a Windows 3.1 emulator. Double click in Ultimate Guide to Mortal Kombat. Prepare yourself for loading. Hey, I'm going to screen share this with the chat, actually.
Really taking as much advantage as possible of being in this Discord.
Why not?
Being in this Discord. Wow, that's like 4x5. Wow, that's like 4x5, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty minimal.
Is this the closest we've
So,
come to doing a
Is this the closest we've
come to doing a Let's Play?
It might be. This is a story. God, is anybody recording this? It doesn't matter. Sorry. So we've got an intro talking about Mortal Kombat, Midway Manufacturing, Ed Boon and John Tobias,
I'm
etc.
gonna have to put this on my other screen. I think. It's way more letters than Mortal Kombat needs to be spelled. They might have got that a little bit wrong.
I did watch that video, and that was the funniest fucking thing. Let's see if I can. This rules, dude.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
I apologize. This ain't great listening. And
you can clean it up in post.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Damn, this thing loads like it's running on an actual like 386.
This is the greatest Windows 3.1 emulator ever made in that it runs exactly like the shittiest computer you ever used at your elementary school.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it ain't going. I don't know. It might have just hung up on us. All right, my mouse disappeared.
Yeah, I think it
there
just
goes.
froze.
Yeah.
You have maybe the 3 funniest tabs opened right now that anyone has ever had.
Gary Hoskins, MKP Roadmap, and DOSBox. Yeah, I think I'm gonna
Call it.
Yeah, we're gonna abandon that idea. Sorry, guys. I did post the link for everyone, and I'm gonna throw the link in the episode description. Maybe people can check that out. Holy shit, Danny!
Wait, what are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at what Danny said. He
What
said,
did Danny
"Sorry, Neil,
say?"
it's my fault. I picked up the landline."
Oh, I'm laughing at the fact that it went to the Carrie Hoskins tab and you were looking at appearances in Playboy Special Editions.
Oh, I was looking
On
at her
the screen
whole
share.
biography.
Yeah, but the screen share was just that. So I was like,
Sure. Yeah. Well, if anyone is interested in that, I'm not going to post those in the chat. You guys can find those on your own.
it's very funny.
I was laughing at something Danny did. All right, we're going to turn off that.
Yeah, I think we've
that
done
screen
enough.
share. I tried. All right. I think we did pretty good for our first live show. What do you think, Corey?
ko-fi.com/mkpodquest if you want more live shows or to buy Neil that disc for real.
Hey, let's ask this kid in the chat what he thinks of our first live show.
I loved it. I thought it was way much better than Power Rangers Live.
Oh, thanks, kid.
Is there a reason that they did that next to the loudest traffic you've ever heard in your life?
Well, there's those are just like real genuine, like on man on the street reactions to Mortal Kombat the live tour. You
Billy Eichner runs up, name a woman like, while they're doing the testimonials for Mortal Kombat live tour.
He's Sir, Street Fighter 2.
Sir. Name a 3D fighting game.
Sir, Virtua Fighter, go. I think we did it.
Ryu. There's probably a
think
Virtua
we did
Fighter
it.
Ryu somewhere.
Corey, what do you got going on?
What do I have going on? Well, they made another one still going, still trucking along, doing pretty fun stuff over there.
Yeah.
We are back to the Genero, which I want to continue reminding people because I think that's been a great call on our part.
Hell yeah.
The next episode we have releasing is on Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Jesus Christ.
which was maybe not the greatest thing that the Genero has ever made us watch. But in that episode, we do take Harry Potter's Sorting Hat quizzes mid-episode and
Dope.
find out what our houses are because we didn't know. So if that's something that interests you at all,
I bet you're a Hufflepuff, aren't you? Don't answer. I bet you're a Hufflepuff, though.
do you want me to tell you after this?
Yeah.
But
Tell
you
me
don't
off
want me
air,
to
'cause
say
you
it
know
now to build
I'm
suspense.
not going to listen.
Yeah, you're too busy with your new boots. But that's They Made Another one on all your podcast services. That's They Made Another on Instagram. That's where we prefer to do that.
Danny wants you to know that that's the worst of the 3 movies.
I don't doubt it.
It means Danny's seen all 3 of them.
Yeah, well, he has
It's on you, Danny.
He has to make 45 Instagram reels a day, or the chip in
Sure.
his head explodes and he dies. So
Right.
he had
we
to
definitely
go
don't want
see
that happening.
And sorry, I'm just yeah, we didn't know. I don't know. I hadn't done it before. There was only one way to find out.
Yeah.
But
Because we didn't know.
They Made Another on Instagram as well, and TMAO on Letterboxd. And if you go to mortalkombatconquest.ca, you'll see that. You'll see some of Neil's stuff. You'll also see
Yeah.
Strat 2, my currently on unintentional extended hiatus F1 podcast.
Hell yeah. There's a race today, right?
Yeah, there was the Italian
gotta-
Grand Prix in which Max Verstappen set record-breaking F1 history by being the
There you
first
go.
ever driver to win 10 races in a row.
Sick. Do you want to just cut that out and release it as a new episode of Strat 2? Just that part?
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
What do you
you-
have? Hold on, I didn't ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
And what do you have going on?
Oh boy, I do a alien podcast with our friend Kenny. Kenny's in the chat right now. It's called Crew Expendable. You can find it at crewexpendable.net. Search Crew Expendable in your podcast app. YouTube at Crew Expendable, etc. You can find me on Instagram at Final Neil Retro and Blue Sky at Final Neil.
Oh yeah, I'm on
right?
Blue Sky now too. I guess yeah.
Corey's also on Blue Sky.
I haven't really used it a lot because I keep forgetting that I'm on Blue Sky now. But I am on there. I should probably follow more people and
Yeah,
start.
that seems to be the thing is everyone forgets that they have Blue Sky.
Yeah, I just keep going to Twitter and having the continually worst days of my life over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Sort of a skill error on my part for not just remembering better.
What are you going to do? I have one Blue Sky code right now. If anybody wants it, DM me. Yeah, that's all I got going on. Danny, Jason, Greg, Kenny, thanks for hanging out for our first live show. We gave nobody notice to this, so I'm surprised anybody joined at all.
Never mind immediately. Also, if it was bad, don't tell us.
It was good. I know it was good.
Yeah, but I
felt
feel
it.
like I'm usually funnier.
You were really funny on this one.
I feel
Don't-
like typically I
don't
know
get in your
I
head.
put my industry hat on.
your industry.
I got real analytical.
Hey everyone, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Final Neil. I am recently played and will soon again be playing Nintendo Wii Deadliest Catch game. That started off really bad, but I kind of got really into. So
Is that what it's called? It's called Nintendo Wii Deadliest Catch Game.
Deadliest Catch Sea of Chaos.
They need to chill out, right? The
Dude,
Deadliest
it's an
Ca-
insane...
like the job's pretty wild, right?
Sure.
But I think they need to chill out, right?
Yeah.
Like with the
Yeah,
we live in an age of chaos, and these immortal warriors will be getting on vessels made by the iron of gods and
Is that how
catching
the
a bunch
show
of
goes?
funny crab guys.
because that's not how the game goes.
It's kind of like that. How does the game go?
I've never... The game is like if it's you get a boat.
It's sort of
right?
like
You buy a
nautical
boat,
Pawn Stars.
and you decorate it, and you go out to places and you drop pots, and then you go back and pick up pots, and it's different mini games, and then you sort crabs, and then you unload crabs, and then you hire crew.
I mean, the
and then you
show
fix your
has
boat.
that, but it also has
kind of fucking rules.
it also has the heightened terror of what if you were to get hit in the head with a cage full of lobsters or whatever.
This hasn't happened in the game, but maybe I'll unlock that mini game later. Anyway, We'll be back sometime to talk about another Mortal Kombat thing. I think the next thing on the list is we're going to break down some of the Mortal Kombat music albums.
We have a list, so like we can figure out which one it is. Which one is it? I'm scrolling.
I think we're going to do, you know what? I was going to
Mortal Kombat, the album.
But I think we're still on this, we're on this Kazanov kick, right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe we should break down next is the Mortal Kombat album released by Threshold Entertainment.
I feel like we can probably do both albums in one. Yeah. Let's not get carried away.
Well, we'll see. One or both of those is going to be coming up on the next episode. And that's it. Until next time. All right, take us out.
No, because the one quote I wrote that I didn't get to say is when he goes like, my name is Shang Tsung. And then the news guy just goes, all right.
All right. Until next time. All right.